In my opinion, I'm not into sign languages. I'm like more spoken words like Japanese or African. Just, yeah, yeah, go knock yourself out, enjoy it. I love sign language now. Um, I just enjoy doing it. It's meaningful, it's helping people, and also when people ask me why I love signing, I say it makes me feel more myself because you know how people talk about whether you're a different person when you're speaking different languages? I've never had that feeling except when I'm signing. And when I'm signing, I feel like I'm a much less reserved person. And that's tied to the fact that signing requires that you be expressive. It is part of the grammar. You have to embody what you're saying. You can't just say it. So every feeling, every motion in sign language feels much more real. And after having learned it for a couple of years, I just feel most in touch with myself whenever I'm signing, and that's why I love it. I yeah, and when I'm speaking a language, like yeah, of course I mean what I say, but I don't I don't feel like I'm really embodying it, I suppose. That's that for me that's the number one benefit of learning to sign, and I would recommend it. That reminds me, I have my 103 BSL in another 2 weeks. Why? Wait, how long's your course? You just did one exam. Why are you doing all the exams in like a month? I need to revise that. That is fascinating. Do you think less expressive people would struggle more with signing? No, I am the less expressive people. I struggled a lot when I started. Yeah, I struggled a lot more than my peers. Because for one, understanding at least BSL requires a lot of lip reading, which I don't know if it's an excuse or not, but my understanding was always that because I didn't grow up speaking English, and I didn't grow up like looking at people speaking English, and that's why I struggle with lip reading English. That was my reasoning / excuse, and also again another reasoning / excuse. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like my culture just gestures less than British people do, relatively speaking. So I'm not. It doesn't come extremely naturally to me, or it didn't come very naturally to me, past tense. And yes, I am not a very expressive person with my face and my body. So I was that person, and I struggled. And then at some point, it just clicked. I think it was when I realized that signing is less about vocabulary, grammar, because everyone is freaking out. Everyone in my class is like, oh my god, what do I do with this grammar, what comes first, how does that work? Whereas at some point it clicked for me that signing is more about embodying, reenacting. Like if I want to show this person going there, I just do that. So stop thinking about person, go, whatever, subject, verb, object, that doesn't really matter. Think about how I can reenact that event, and then use the vocabulary and grammar to supplement that acting and reenacting. I think that was when it clicked, and then suddenly it all made sense to me. And a lot of practice, obviously. And then my friends say that, yeah, my face is like blank when I'm speaking English, but when I'm signing, I'm a different person. It's on my face as well. I think Northern Irish flag is not officially a Northern Irish flag. Okay, signing is so expressive too. Actions speak louder than words. Really feels like that way, and something really freeing about when you communicate. Yeah, exactly. It feels very honest because of how important it is. Yeah, you have to actually mean what you say. So if you're being sarcastic, people can see it on your face. My teacher can always tell when I'm feeling low. Yeah. They don't just read your lips, they read your face. My next exam is in 2 weeks. Got my results back. From 1 to... You pass, right? That's what matters. There's no like distinction on these exams. It's just pass or fail. So as long as you pass, that's okay. Abyss Blind. For a while, I've been wanting there to be something like a dictionary collection of gestural language, not signed, but hand arm motions. Oh yeah, I'm sure someone has done at least some research on that, right? That there's definitely like a whole field. Yeah, there is definitely a subfield of linguistics concerned with that. I'm sure of it. But I don't know much about it. How do I gesture now? My gestures are probably some mix of how I grew up gesturing, what I picked up from like speakers of British English, and then also like some BSL. And I noticed that, and when I'm gesturing, there is a natural tendency drift towards like BSL signs. Like back then, when I say yeah, back then, that's all BSL. Yeah, back then. But that's also quite intuitive as well. So I don't know which one it is. I'm still trying to get the hang of that because I'm not used to it, but I love BSL. I hope I can do my level 2 at different depth center when I move home. I don't want to lose it. I certainly hope so. Yeah, it is kind of sad how hard it is to learn this language. Not like in terms of the language itself, but like the circumstances. The classes are extremely expensive, and there's not much support. Lots of people can only take classes because of their works paying for it. I'm completely on my own. Again, plug support me to learn languages and things. This one specifically support me to go to the Polyglot Gathering, but everything is expensive, so I always appreciate every bit helps, as they say. Do you find you gesture more or less depending on the language? I think I gesture more in English than in Cantonese. I don't have like actual data or evidence of that, but my gut feeling says I gesture less in Cantonese. Because I definitely use my voice differently in English. One obvious way is that I use my falsetto in English. Like, not all the time, but like sometimes I want to be really clear or like, emphatic about something. I would go into falsetto. I don't do that in any other language, and I definitely picked that up from Brits. So that's definitely a thing, but that's more like part of my idiolect of English itself, rather than, my personality changing or coming through differently. It's all very much tied together. Again, that's from BSL again.